And turning now to Storm Watch 12 meteorologist Josh Colbreth, is wind an issue that we're going to be seeing today, and is that part of what makes it a high impact weather day?
Yes, absolutely. We actually have a high wind warning that's in place right now. Now, it's not for where Cameron's at. It's actually in place for the coast, but we'll have more on that here in a second. But yeah, kind of stating the obvious, today is certainly a high impact weather day for today into tomorrow. So we're going to see some big time impacts across the board, including some of these winds, which right now are kind of toned down compared to what we were seeing a bit earlier, but still winds gusting upwards of 23 miles per hour for Gold Beach, up to 30 miles per hour over on the east side. Now through tonight, some of those winds could gust upwards of 60 miles per hour for the east side, for the Shasta Valley, and for the Oregon coastline. But where Cameron is situated, she could see winds gusting upwards of 50 miles per hour, and maybe some of those could sneak their way into the Rogue Valley as well. So along the coast, that high wind warning that lasts until 7 for this morning. Now to the snow impacts, and we're going to see quite a bit of them as we have several winter storm warnings in place. All of these run until 4 p.m. on Tuesday, mainly for elevations about 1,500 feet to 2,000 feet. And then in the elevations below that, we have these winter weather advisories for the east side. This goes until 10 in the morning for Jackson County, this goes until 10 in the morning on Tuesday. But for the Shasta Valley and for the east side, this goes until 4 p.m. on Tuesday. So here's all the heavy snow. It is right now on the doorstep of Medford, starting to get pretty close to where Cameron's at Siskiyou Summit. So I think those conditions are going to start to slide downhill in a hurry. But we're watching this area of deep blue that is showing up on the radar, and that is indicative of some very heavy snowfall that, if that holds together and survives past the trip across the coastal mountain range, we could see some very heavy snow in Grants Pass, maybe making it to Medford as well. So we'll continue to track that with great intent all throughout the rest of the morning. But let's put this into motion with Stormcast, and we're just going to stop it at various points throughout the day today. And for tomorrow, we'll stop this around lunchtime. We'll stop this around dinner time. We'll stop this at midnight. We'll stop this during the morning on Tuesday, during lunchtime on Tuesday, during dinner time on Tuesday, and I think you kind of get the gist. There are just going to be these continuous rounds and heavy bursts of snow continuing to pivot all throughout the region. So since coverage will be so widespread for most of the next 48 hours, that means that snow levels are going to become very important. More on those in a second, but first, some of these rainfall and snowfall totals we're expecting through Tuesday night. Obviously, the big winner is going to be the Cascades and the coast, but still some beneficial rainfall even for the Rogue Valley, even for the east side as well. Now, snow levels starting off this morning right around 500 feet, raising up to around 2,000 feet a little bit later today. So that means that we could see a transition back to rain for places like the Rogue Valley. But then overnight, we'll see those snow levels going back down to elevations below the Rogue Valley floor. So we're going to kind of go back and forth between rain and snow within Medford and Grants Pass. I'm going to take a step off the screen real quick so we can just take in some of these potential snowfall totals. We can maybe get another trace there along the coast. Anywhere between 2 to 4 inches we're expecting for Medford and Grants Pass. But look at some of these passes on the west side, 8 to 12 inches for Sexton Summit and Hayes Hill. That is phenomenal if that actually verifies. Then upwards of 1 to 2 feet that we're going to have for the Cascades and the Siskiyou. So a big time snowfall event that we have on our hands. So for today, wet, windy, and wintry overnight. That'll continue. Winds will start to back off a little bit. And then we will continue to have more widespread wet and wintry weather into Tuesday. We'll continue to have some travel concerns into Wednesday. Weak little storm system for Thursday, then another high impactful winter storm system for Saturday. It looks like that one could bring some more low elevation snow. So very quickly now, your 7-day forecast for the coast. I think even for the coast, we're going to see that transition to snow at some point during the day tomorrow because snow levels will be so low. For Siskiyou County, we're expecting upwards of maybe 12 to 18 inches of snow for the Mount Shasta City area, so almost an identical setup to what we had on Friday. For the east side, we can maybe get a few inches for Klamath Falls and Lakeview. We will see some tangible impacts for Oregon 140, maybe anywhere between 4 to 6 inches there. We're just going to have a boatload of snow for the Cascades and Siskiyous. Great news for the snowpack, bad news for travel. And then for the Rogue Valley, periods of heavy snow at times for today and tomorrow, and then we'll have another crack at it on Sunday morning.